For 1a, you have to use the equation above that is given, and then you can factor out a GCF of negative 16t, so you get h equals negative 16t times t minus 2. For 1b, you use the factor form and you set them equal to 0. So after you set each factor to 0, you get the times of 2 and 0 seconds. For 1c, it says the maximum height will happen halfway through the total time, and the total time is 2 seconds, so you get the maximum height to be at 1 second. Plug that into the equation and you get a height of 16 feet. For 1d, what is the height of the ball after half a second after being thrown? So plug in 0.5 as your t and you get a height of 12 feet. Since halfway the half time is 1 second and your max height is 16 feet, it will be rising at 0.5 seconds. Know that the equation for an area of a rectangle is length times width. And after we draw the rectangle, we just represent width as w and length as 3w minus 2. We plug those into the equation and we get 8 equals w times 3w minus 2. Distribute the w and factor, and you end up with 3w plus 4 and w minus 2. Set those factors equal to 0 and you get w equals 2 and w equals negative 4 over 3. You cannot have a length of a negative, so only 2 works. So your width is 2 inches. You then have to plug that back in to find the length. So you have 3w minus 2 equals your length, so you get a length of 4 inches. Number 3, we'll be using the projectile motion equation. We'll plug in h as 0 and we are solving for t. We know that v is 0 as well. We factor this and we end up with negative 64 equals negative 16t squared. You can divide each by negative 16 and you get 4 equals t squared. If you take the square root of both of those, you get t equals positive 2 and negative 2. Since time cannot be negative, your answer is 2 seconds. For number 4, it says the product of two consecutive positive odd integers is 255. We'll call the first number x and the second number x plus 2 since it is consecutive but also odd. So we multiply those and we distribute the x and we get x squared plus 2x equals 255. Subtract 255 from both sides and factor, and you'll get x minus 15 and x plus 17. Set those equal to 0 and you get x equals 15 and negative 17. Back in the beginning, it says that they have to be positive, so the negative 17 will not work. So our first number is 15, and we plug that back into our equation for the second number, which equals x plus 2. So we do 15 plus 2, and we get our second number to be 17. For number 5, we are told that n squared minus 2n minus 3 can be set equal to the profit earned to find the number of key rings that are sold. Since they are both in thousands of dollars, we know that we need to divide $5,000 by 1,000 to get the profit, not in thousands of dollars. So set the problem equal to 0 and you get n squared minus 2n minus 8 equals 0. Factor it and you get n minus 4 and n plus 2. Set both of those equal to 0, you get n equals 4 and negative 2. Since the number of key rings sold cannot be negative, you get an answer of n equals 4. And you have to go back and multiply that by 1,000 since you took 1,000 back out in the beginning. So you get a number sold of $4,000 or 4,000.